A key part of a company's annual report is the MD&A section, and I will provide you 5 reasons why you should review it. After reviewing the financial statements in the annual report, the MD&A section is the one I often turn to next. In this video, we will take a very practical approach to reviewing the annual report by looking into the MD&A sections of the 3M, Apple and General Electric annual reports to answer key questions you may have about these companies as an investor or employee. Here are 5 good reasons to review the MD&A section of the annual report. MD&A actually stands for Management's Discussion and Analysis of Financial Condition and Results of Operations. Reason number 1. The MD&A tells you about core performance drivers, like how many iPhones did Apple sell. Reason number 2. The MD&A provides critical information about core business segments, like how GE Aviation is doing. Reason number 3. The MD&A gives a narrative on what happened year over year in the P&L, on items like earnings per share. Reason number 4. The MD&A has important information on a company's financial position and liquidity, so it helps you understand what is going on in the cash flow statement and balance sheet, and has data points like a company's credit rating. Reason number 5. The MD&A helps you identify the critical accounting policies that a company uses, and any upcoming changes in them. Let's dive into each of these 5 reasons and the related example question that I posed. Let me provide a little bit of context before we jump in. Where do you find the MD&A? For US listed companies, it is part of a company's annual report 10K filing to the SEC. I have downloaded the 10Ks of 3M, Apple and General Electric and suggest you do the same to follow along and possibly find other information that could be of use to you. What's the purpose of the MD&A? The 3M MD&A section nicely summarizes this. The MD&A is designed to provide the reader of 3M's financial statements with a narrative from the perspective of management. In the case of 3M's 2017 10K, the MD&A is presented in 8 sections: overview, results of operations, performance by business segment, performance by geographic area, critical accounting estimates, new accounting pronouncements, financial condition and liquidity, and financial instruments. The length of the MD&A section can vary significantly by company and by year. In 2017, 3M's MD&A was 35 pages in length, Apple's 14 pages, and GE's 90 pages. First reason to review the MD&A: finding the core performance driver or drivers. When I want to learn about Apple's financial performance, the first question I ask is, how many iPhones did they sell? The MD&A provides the answer to that question. 217 million iPhones, generating a revenue of $141 billion, which is 62% of Apple's total revenue. iPhone net sales increased during 2017 compared to 2016 due to higher iPhone unit sales and a different mix of iPhones with higher average selling prices. Second reason to review the MD&A: reviewing segment performance. When reviewing GE's MD&A section, you will learn that the CEO of GE Aviation is a longtime GE employee called David Joyce, that the business is headquartered in Cincinnati, Ohio, and has 44,500 employees, that their products and services are for commercial as well as military use, and the segment includes additive manufacturing machines and industrial 3D printers. The significant trends and developments narrative walks you through developments in global passenger air travel, engine deliveries, and acquisitions. Orders information is provided, split between equipment and services. Backlog information is also provided, which is a key data point in a long cycle business like GE Aviation. In short, a lot of very useful information that is provided for not just GE Aviation, but for each of the major businesses. Third reason to review the MD&A: it provides a narrative on what happened year over year in the P&L. On the corporate level for line items such as cost of sales, SG&A and R&D, as well as on the business segment level for sales and operating income. In the case of 3M, investors have probably asked themselves why the 2017 earnings per share were lower than the earnings per share in 2016. 3M provides the answer in the form of an EPS walk. Prior year EPS at the top, current year EPS at the bottom. Factors that increase EPS year over year were organic growth and productivity, as well as acquisitions and divestitures. Factors that decreased EPS were incremental strategic investments and the one-time transition tax and deferred tax assets effect of the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act. Fourth reason to review the MD&A. It has important information on the company's financial position and liquidity, so it helps you understand what is going on in the cash flow statement and balance sheet. One indicator that I personally always look for is a company's credit rating and any developments in this area, as this has a correlation to the borrowing costs and future interest expense. In the case of GE, the S&P credit rating at the date of filing was A1 for short-term debt and A for long-term debt. Fifth reason to review the MD&A. It discusses the critical accounting policies and estimates, as well as new accounting pronouncements that may impact the company's financials going forward. For example, there is a lot going on in the world of accounting in the area of revenue recognition. Several new FASB standards have been issued. Apple will adopt these in the first quarter of fiscal 2019 and expects that the new revenue standards will not have a material impact on the amount and timing of revenue recognized. In summary, there are at least 5 good reasons to review the MD&A section of the annual report. The MD&A tells you about core performance drivers, like how many iPhones did Apple sell. The MD&A provides critical information about core business segments, like how GE Aviation is doing. The MD&A gives a narrative on what happened year over year in the P&L, on items like earnings per share. The MD&A has important information on the company's financial position and liquidity. The MD&A helps you identify the critical accounting policies that the company uses and any upcoming changes in them. Give it a try by reviewing the MD&A section in the annual report of a company of your choice, and let me know in the comments what you have found. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this short discussion of the MD&A section in the company's annual report, then please give it a thumbs up. On this end screen there are a few suggestions of videos you can watch next. Please subscribe to the Finance Storyteller YouTube channel. Thank you.